The following program is rated GE. It is suitable for general family viewing. Football, commonly known as soccer, a multi-billion shilling sport loved by all and sundry globally. It starts here in such a field, but with determined enthusiasts. That basic training revolves around discipline, teamwork, and focus. The National Government Constituencies Development Fund has been giving a facelift to these fields to grow more talent. These grounds have nurtured international superstars, some of the best footballers in the world. Think of defensive midfielder Victor Wanyama, who later played for Montreal, Tottenham Hotspur, and Southampton. Arnold Origi, who played for Lillestrøm and Moss in the Norwegian League. McDonald Mariga, who played for Inter Milan, and Denis Oliech, who played for Dubai CSC, Auxerre, among other teams. They all have one thing in common. Their talents were identified and nurtured at such playgrounds. National Government Constituencies Development Fund recognizes the role sports play in developing talent. For instance, Mvita constituency has used 21.5 million shillings to upgrade Ronald Ngala Primary School grounds. Here, the football ground is leveled and layered to international standards. The changing rooms, with bathrooms for home and away teams and referees, have been built. Fencing has been done and lights have been installed such that a tournament can take place at night. And there is security. Former captain and now coach Michael Lemichemi says he loves his work more than ever.
Kwa hapa katika hii ground almost kama miaka kama 20. Mimi ni former captain, sasa nimekuwa coach, sasa na vijana hapa katika field. So hapa katika kuhusu hii field vile iko kwa saizi na ile sasa miaka 10 15 years back ambayo tulikuwa tukicheza. Ulikuwa uwezi kucheza hapa kwa sababu ilikuwa kumejaa mabwitu manini, hakuna kitu chochote yani. Ilikuwa ni shule tu na ground tu na ground ilikuwa iko na mawe, iko na nini. Yaani hata sasa pia wenyewe mimi nasikia nirudi nyuma ile miaka ya nyuma alicheza
kwa umma ama kwa community imetusaidia sana. Hasa katika sisi watu wenye ya Chuda, Spark. Ile tulivyokuwa mwanzo ilikuwa ni kama tutacheza matopeni. Lakini toka tupate ufadhili wa CDF ya Mvita, mazingira yamekuwa bora zaidi ya kuridhisha. Hata ukiona vile wachezaji watoto walipofanya hapa, unasikia wenyewe pia wanakuwa na motisha kwamba at least wakija vile vipawa vyao vitazidi kuboresha vitakuwa ile ya juu. Na pia si hivyo tu. Hii CDF pia ilitusaidia sisi kama club ama kama vilabu vya hapa, ambapo walikuwa wakitusaidia kama participation fees ama pesa za referees na miradi midogo midogo wakitupatia fulana. At least pia imetujenga morali.
In Nairobi County, Dagoretti South, NGCDF has improved Ndorarua grounds in Kawangware. Here, a new basketball court has been constructed. In Ikolomani, the NGCDF has sponsored football tournaments and bought sports attire for players. In Mombasa, NGCDF pays teams affiliation and supports in other ways.
Fedha za CDF zimekuwa zikisaidia sana michezo katika Jamhuri yetu ya Kenya kwa lengo la kusaidia michezo mashinani. Fedha zile zimesaidia pakubwa timu zetu kuweza kulipiwa ada ya kushiriki katika ligi, kulipiwa ada ya waamuzi ama marifari, na saa nyingine pia fedha zile zinatumika kutoa zawadi baada ya msimu ikiwa ligi zimekwisha. Kwa hivyo kabla ya CDF kuanza kulipia vilabu fees, vilabu vile vilikuwa vikicheza mpira mwisho vinaachia katikati, kwa sababu vilabu wana gharama ya kulipa participation fees, wana gharama ya kununua jazi, wana gharama ya transport kwenda kucheza katika mechi zao. Lakini CDF ilipokuwa imesema inawalipia participation fees, inawalipia referee fees, hasa vilabu vinabakia na transport peke yake. Na hata CDF imekuwa ikitoa jazi kwa timu zetu zote za Mombasa.
Camp Toyoyo, home to Jericho All-Stars Football Club, has been a beneficiary of NGCDF. This ground has produced some of the best football talents in the country. Since upgrading to artificial turf in 2015, Camp Toyoyo has hosted some top-flight matches. NGCDF contributed 30 million shillings during the upgrading after FIFA commissioned the refurbishment. The total upgrade cost was up to 90 million shillings. Such interventions take care of future dreams.
Kikwa mkubwa nataka kuchezea Man U, nataka niwe kama Mbappe.
Every year, NGCDF allocates about $500 million shillings for various sports activities. This is because sports bolster physical, psychological, emotional, and social well-being, and is vital for national development.
Sports is also an area that is allowable in the law, and it's particularly very important because Kenya has got a lot of talent of youth who have a lot of capacities. What we lack is a mechanism to be able to identify those youth and promote them to be able to be scouted by other sport organizations. And it's very important that through National Government CDF, because we are one very unique organization with networks across the country. So through our sports program, we organize annual sports tournaments in various disciplines, in soccer, in athletics, conduct marathons, volleyballs, and other disciplines that are priority to each constituency because the talents vary across the country. And through those tournaments, we're able to promote the youth to be able to not only improve and grow their talents, but to also improve also their welfare and improve their health, and also be able to avoid various social vices by getting themselves socially preoccupied. So we do support sports programs, and we also do support sports facilities in schools, because by the Constitution, sports facilities in the public are functions of national government, those are left to county government. But we support sports facilities in schools, and many schools are able to share those facilities with the youth in schools and also youth out of school. And through that, we have been able to contribute a great deal in promotion of sports in the country.
At the social service level, NGCDF had before devolution been involved in constructing and refurbishing social halls. These are spaces that connect communities across Kenya. Here, communities socialize and discuss broader projects like volunteer activities in health programs, arts, and culture. They also discuss initiatives that promote the well-being of the community. Social halls also act as information centers in society, and that explains why NGCDF has built community centers and renovated some others across the country. After the NGCDF Act of 2015 came into being, social halls were devolved to counties to support Vision 2030's social pillar, which aims to improve the quality of life for all Kenyans by targeting a cross-section of human and social welfare projects and programs. NGCDF has come up with various initiatives. Some of these include medical support to vulnerable people. In constituencies like Ikolomani and Nyaribari Chache, NGCDF supports by paying for the National Health Insurance Fund card in the community for those who cannot afford it. Wycliffe Muhati Lusava from Ikolomani is one such beneficiary. A border rider, he was involved in an accident, but his NHIF card came in handy.
Mimi hufanya kazi ya bodaboda na katika maisha yangu nilikuwa bado sijawahi kuwa na NHIF, lakini wakati CDF walikuwa wanatafuta watu ambao wako chini sana na wakanipata, nikajaribu kuandikisha, wakanilipia, na katika hali ya kulipiwa hivyo nikapata accident ya pikipiki, nikavunjika mguu, hii bakuli ikapasuka vipande viwili, na nikawa sina mbele wala nyuma cha kufanya, lakini hii kadi ilinisimamia, nikapata matibabu na ikanilipia shilingi 120 katika hospitali ya orthopedic pale Kakamega, ile ilikuwa ya Dr. Shula. Na ninashukuru sana, na hili jambo limenipatia moyo sana ya kwamba CDF na pamoja na NHIF walinisaidia sana. Hao ndio wanafanya nikiwa hai jinsi nilivyo hivi.
We met Mumanyi Nyaigoti, a medical welfare scheme beneficiary through NHIF, at his home in Nyamware, Nyaribari Chache. Nyaigoti is a farmer who engages in subsistence farming. He has some chicken and dairy cows and farms sugarcane, bananas, tea, and a little bit of everything that provides his family with food. Though food security is not an issue in the fertile county, Momanyi and other residents cannot afford medical cover, for they lack liquid cash. And that is why the Nyaribari Chache NGCDF has chipped in.
Nina mke na watoto, na hao wote nimeandikisha kwa NHIF, hivyo naona kama watasaidia.
Johnson Ongaki is also a beneficiary.
Nashukuru sana kwa CDF kwa kunipatia kadi ya NHIF, na imenisaidia sana wakati nilikuwa mgonjwa kushikana kifua, breathing system. Kwa hivyo nikaja Keumbu nikatubiwa, hata ingawa nikapewa transfer Kisii level 6, nikawa treated huko. Kwa hivi sasa nasikia niko na nafuu kwa mwili wangu. Kwa hivyo nashukuru sana kwa CDF kwa kutupatia card ya kutubiwa. Naomba ili iendelee kusaidia watu kama mimi.
To further support communities, NGCDF engages with people at the grassroots to identify their needs. For example, Nyali, Eldama Ravine, and Voi constituencies view libraries in high regard and as spaces for knowledge.
This is the only library we have in this constituency, and it is serving the community. I think you have been able to visit it. It's besides serving the school, it is serving the community. We have so many students who come in actually to do studies, and that one has actually improved the education standard of Nyali constituency.
Libraries play a fundamental role in society. They provide the residents with resources and services for literacy and education. They help individuals to expand their network and become a part of a community. These libraries act as community-centered spaces that help people find information and connect with others. They also provide countless resources, such as educational materials. In this digital era, libraries offer locals access to training, and they get technological skills that would otherwise be unavailable to majority. In Nyali constituency, NGCDF New Library has partnered with stakeholders to bring the services closer to the people.
I'm representing Hatua Network Organization. It's an NGO which deals with scholarship, library, and mentoring services. We manage the daily operation of the library. It is a community library which harbors all age, from kids, from PP1 to adults. And in our library, we conduct programs. At the moment, we have 6 programs which conduct. One of the programs is value-based read aloud program, where we read stories of moral values to kids, and also we have a homework helping program where we assist kids mainly from public schools with their homework.
Water is yet another service. To support water connectivity, NGCDF has come up with various interventions at community level.
Whether it's primary or secondary schools, or even in the security institutions, we are also able to do water projects inside the schools. For example, if a school needs a borehole, we are able to dig for them a borehole and equip it, and they can be able to access water.
Under Sustainable Development Goals, water provision is listed as number 6. Kenya is one country committed to ensuring that its citizens access water and sanitation by 2030. While water is central to economic and social development, the National Water Master Plan of 2030 estimates that over R1 trillion shillings are needed to bridge water supply gap by 2030. Globally, 12 billion people lack access to safely managed drinking water at home. Of those, 1.2 billion people have basic drinking water services. Between 2015 and 2020, 107 million people gained access to safely managed drinking water at home. Nancy Rwamba of Kavutiri in Runyenjes is one such person. Were it not for NGCDF initiative, Rwamba and more than 120,000 others would still be traveling miles to the neighboring rivers to fetch water. NGCDF Runyenjes constituency upgraded this water project, which was done before the NGCDF Act 2015. At the time, NGCDF could fund all projects.
Bereni tulikuwa tunapata shida ya maji kwa sababu tulikuwa tunachota kwa mto, na wakati wa kiangazi haikuwa mingi, na hata wakati ule hata wanyama walikuwa wanapata maji kule. Kwa hivyo unaenda kwa mto unakuta maji imechafuliwa na ng'ombe. Sasa kulikuwa na shida, lakini wakati hii maji ya Ngaka ilikuja,
provides water for residents.
Mimi ni sababu wa area hii, na ninafurahi wakati ile maji tumeletewa maji. Mimi nifurahi sana kwa sababu tulikuwa tukishota maji about 1.5 kilometers, na kusema kweli mama kama mimi kushota maji ni shinda sana, ni ngumu sana. So nimefurahi kwa wale wanatuletea hii maji, nikasema ni asante sana CDF iende mbele.
Water here is free for all. The boreholes are powered by solar energy panels, and it's not just in Sagana town. In Gasharu Primary School, another borehole. Schools and the community also get their water supply for domestic use and farming from here for free. The NGCDF Ndia initiative to use solar energy to power the boreholes helps in environmental conservation and saves money that could have been used by fuel. Currently, there are global campaigns to move to cleaner energy sources that are clean, emissions-free, and renewable. And that explains why NGCDF commits 2% yearly to protect the environment. From planting trees to harvesting water, various initiatives have been taken at the constituencies to back the NGCDF Act.
The law empowers the constituencies to also directly allocate funds towards addressing environmental restoration. And particularly, the law requires that every constituency should consider environment when they identify project proposals, and they can allocate up to 2% of the money that we give them towards environmental activities. This one, many constituencies have utilized those funds towards supporting the government program of reforestation to be able to improve the tree cover beyond the 10% as envisaged in the government development blueprint.
Kisumu East has, for instance, taken up tree planting to the next level by carving a portion of land at Kunya Primary School and turning it into a forest.
What we basically do in environmental projects, we used to supply trees seedlings to various schools, on average 10 to around 20 schools every financial year. And after some time, we realized that most of the tree seedlings would not survive. And upon asking most of the schools and the head teachers, their main reason was that some of the schools are porous. They are not fenced. And so the cows and goats and the sheep would interfere with the trees, and also the children, the pupils in the schools. So we sat down and we had to come up with a workable plan and an action plan and see how best our environmental projects would succeed, and having in mind that these are public funds that needs to be accounted for. So we decided to do a pilot forest in one of the schools. As you can see around, this is Kunya Primary School in Kisumu East constituency and in Kolwa Central Ward. This is one of the primary schools, in the many primary schools that in the past we have supplied them with tree seedlings and expected that the schools would take responsibility to take care of the trees until they grow. But that one will not happen. And so the reason that one birthed now the pilot forest that now we decided to do in Kunya Primary. So what we did, we come up with a budget. As you know, every financial year, NGCDF board finances every constituency to do environmental projects. And so we came up with this, we conceptualized this one, fencing off an area. The schools would identify, the community would identify an area in one of the schools, and we fence it out and plant trees, and we would make sure that the trees seedlings are watered for a period of maybe 1 month, 2 weeks to 4 weeks, so that at least they would not dry. And so as you can see around, this is one of our successful environmental projects that CDF has done. And you know, this is in response also to climate change, and it has really helped us. We've seen many people coming here to borrow from this one. Many other constituencies have come around because they want to see how best are our environmental projects succeeding. So this is how far we have gone. And as CDF Kisumu East, we are planning that we are going to do this one to various schools around. Instead of identifying 20 schools or 15 schools to supply the tree seedlings and they don't survive, better we do it in one of the schools, complete project, fencing ground, planting, and making sure that it grows. And now we can see value for money, public funds that have been allocated.
With drought ranging and climate change becoming a global issue, conservation of the environment needs to be on top of the list. These gabions done by NGCDF Changamwe have come in handy to arrest environmental degradation. Before these gabions, houses in Hodi village would be swept by water during rainy seasons. Thus, NGCDF has shown that health, environment, and social services are all intertwined. NGCDF continues to develop communities.